Every fighter movie you've ever seen has sold you a fantasy about air combat. Not harmless embellishments, but big, physics-defying, pilot-killing fabrications that would have gotten real aviators dead in seconds. Since the 1930s, the same dogfight daydreams keep getting recycled, and millions walk away believing that's how it really worked. Let's tear these myths down. Myth number 1. Dogfights were elegant aerial duels. Hollywood loves to show Spitfires and Bf-109s twirling in graceful, prolonged turning battles, pilot against pilot, matching wits and stick skills. That's storybook stuff. Here's how real engagements went. About 80% of pilots who were shot down never saw who killed them. Not too late to react. Never saw them. In one study of 2,400 aerial victories, 1,920 were achieved against victims who never fired a shot. The Luftwaffe even had a nickname for the practice: fat car hunting. Climb above a formation, pick the slow bomber or the green wingman wobbling on the edge, dive at over 300 km/h, squeeze a short burst, and be gone before anyone understands what happened. Real merges happened at closing speeds near 600 mph. You had maybe 2 seconds to shoot. Most fights were over in under half a minute. Japanese ace Saburo Sakai put it plainly: "We didn't fight like samurai, we fought like assassins." If someone saw you coming, you'd already made a mistake. Try turning that into a movie scene. 2 seconds of gunfire, then empty sky. Myth number 2. A quick burst from machine guns or cannons rips a plane apart instantly. In the movies, squeeze the trigger, wing departs, bloom of flames. The reality is far uglier and far more statistical. Fighter pilots averaged roughly 1/200 rounds per kill. The U.S. 8th Air Force calculated that P-47 Thunderbolts managed about a 2% hit rate in combat. 2 bullets out of every 100 actually hit an airplane-sized target. Even hits often didn't matter. A Bf-109 could take around 40-50 caliber impacts and limp home. One P-47 came back with more than 200 holes and still landed. Do the math. A Spitfire carried about 350 rounds per gun, good for roughly 20 seconds of firing. In those 20 seconds, at 500 MP closure and a 2% hit rate, you might plant 7 bullets on the enemy. 7. Against airframes designed to soak up dozens. As Luftwaffe Major Günther Rall, with 275 victories, put it, most of his rounds just stitched empty sky. Everyone knew it. The movies don't. Myth number 3. Aces sought noble, one-on-one duels with worthy foes. Top Gun and its many imitators convinced audiences that great pilots hunted other great pilots for the glory. In truth, aces got their tallies by refusing fair fights. Germany's Erich Hartmann, with 352 victories, lived by 4 rules. Don't dogfight, only attack with every advantage. If spotted, disengage at once, and shoot only at novices and stragglers. He deliberately avoided veterans. "I didn't tangle with Soviet aces, too risky," he said. "I went after lieutenants on their first missions." American ace Robin Olds described the same predatory logic. "We hunted the new guys. You could see them at a glance. Bad position, overcorrecting, scanning the wrong way. One pass, done, go home." Mixing it up with skilled opponents was foolish. The stats bear it out. In 1944, 10% of Allied pilots scored 90% of the victories. They weren't better at pretty turns. They were better at finding and killing inexperienced pilots before anyone saw them. A Japanese veteran was even blunter. "We called the newcomers offerings. They existed to die so we could score." Myth number 4. The Zero was a flimsy paper airplane. In Pacific War films, Zeros pop like tinder at the first burst. while American fighters shrug off punishment. That trope started as wartime propaganda and stuck. The numbers say otherwise. Zeros statistically survived more combat damage than F-4F Wildcats. A 1943 U.S. Navy analysis found Zeros often returned to base bearing heavier battle damage than a majority of American fighters. When they counted bullet holes, Zeros shot down showed an average of 38 impacts. Wildcats averaged 31. As for the no-armor myth, Zeros carried armored windscreen glass on the order of several centimeters, gained pilot back armor by 1943, and had self-sealing tanks by 1944. What really doomed Zeros wasn't fragility, it was arithmetic. By 1945, they were outnumbered 8-1. Commander Masatake Okumiya summed it up. Our Zeros were tough. Tough doesn't matter when 15 Hellcats fall on 2 Zeros. Myth number 5. Turning tighter and flying aerobatics won battles. This might be Hollywood's biggest fib. The films say victory goes to whoever carves the neatest circles and snaps the quickest roll. Actual doctrine said, don't turn more than 90 degrees. The airplane that helped win the air war, the P-51 Mustang, wasn't a stellar turn fighter. It triumphed with boom and zoom, dive from altitude, fire once, climb away on superior speed. Turning meant death. Luftwaffe guidance was explicit. He who turns first dies first. Energy tactics, not air show routines, dictated outcomes. Altitude was your ammunition. Speed was your life. Bleed either, and you were done. Marine ace Joe Foss, with 26 victories, never once performed an aerobatic figure in real combat. We went up, we went down, we went fast. Anyone who turned was begging to die. The RAF even calculated that 92% of their losses happened when pilots tried defensive maneuvers instead of simply unloading and diving away. Straight lines don't sell tickets. The unglamorous truth is that air combat was mathematical, cold, and ruthlessly unfair. Pilots won by holding the height advantage, amassing numbers, and ambushing rookies who never realized they were being hunted. Most engagements lasted seconds. Most victims never got a shot off. Most aces rarely, if ever, crossed guns with other aces. But that's not cinematic, so Hollywood keeps printing the myth, and fiction hardens into memory. The real story, energy management, selective engagement, and 2-second shooting windows, is far more compelling than the swirling ballet we see on screen. It just doesn't look as good in a theater.